What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today I'm going to be playing a little Fey in the mid lane. As always, let's go over the deck. Now I have Healing Towers, Auto Shield, Experienced, Mana Fountain, Spell Shield, and lastly, Overpowered Spells for my gems. Now for my cards, I have Advanced Evolution, Font of Experience, Tireless Reaper, which I actually forgot to play with, Mana Flow Acolyte, Astral Leap, Blitz Rush, Glycerin Dawn, of course Fireball, you gotta have it, Riot Zapper, Atomic Soldier, Stasis Rune, Amplification Engineer, and lastly Corrosive Walker. So before we get into the real video, I gotta talk about a few things. Now, first, after my Bellica video, I had 1,000 people tell me, hey man, why don't you run Chaos with with the Fireball, Glycerin Dawn, Amplification Engineer, all that good stuff? Why don't you do that? You know, it's such a good build. And, okay, so I'm gonna do that and give you my thoughts on it. And then as well as, you know, I've had a lot of people over this past, 6-8 months, however long I've been doing YouTube, I've had a lot of people ask me, hey man, make a Fey video. Guys, I don't like Fey. I'm terrible with her. I've tried her a handful of times, and, I tried to make a support video, which, guys, I really don't feel she's a support. I feel out of all the, burst casters out there, I think there's way better choices than her to be a support. Gideon could at least get you to escape. I don't know. I don't feel she's a support. I feel she's the most lacking burst caster there is. Sure, she's got some great CC, but there's, Gideon's got some great CC now as well. And, with Gadget having that insane slow on her Tesla Dome, I feel that there's much better choices than Fey. And I don't care for her kit. You can see I'm missing every E I throw because it's taking me a while. This is my first game with her, and hey, I did good enough to make a video about her, so I said, I'm done, I'm not playing her anymore. So, this video is dedicated to True Gravy. Thanks for forcing me to do this, bud. I'm kind of bitter about it. And then on top of that, guys, this is actually in a solo queue, because I had people getting upset that I've been not playing solo queues lately. So, here it is, guys. I'm playing a hero I don't like, I'm in a solo queue, and I'm playing a deck that I don't care for. So, let's see what happens. Alright, before we get into going over the deck, we're about to make a play here. Now, it's 3 minutes in, so I'm going to go for my river buff. And, sure enough, head over there. We get there a little bit early, so we're able to secure this buff, and of course Bellica goes for the other one. Now my Feng is there, so Feng's got green buff, he's there, let's do this, and I'm waiting for him to engage, and he doesn't, and then their Feng shows up, and it's too late at this point. We're gonna end up going down here, we get our first death, luckily their Feng was able to take out their mid lane as well, but he really should have engaged on that fight before, he actually made me engage on that fight. And him having green buff, having purple buff as well. That's an engagement tool, guys. Those are both engagement tools. And, we lost 2 mid laners right there, so it's really not that big of a deal. But, that could have gone a much better. Both of their, both Team's Fangs had the same idea, so, hey, no problem at all. We did some work there, and we were able to, at least wrap that kill up. We didn't get the assist, so, that's going to hurt a little bit, and their Bellica did, so I'm a little bit behind, but no problem. Now, let's talk about the deck a little bit. The main reason I don't like Chaos is because of Amplification Engineer is really your only option. You've got Corrosive Walker and Amplification Engineer, and both of those cards, require you to be very close to the enemy. And as a caster, as a ranged caster, especially one with such a long poke, you don't necessarily want to be right next to everybody. Of course, when Fey uses her ultimate, she's in it, she's very close to everybody, and you might get some benefit from Amplification Engineer, But really, I don't see that, guys. I don't see that being a huge benefit. And, you know, I just don't think it's great. Now, the main reason I went with Chaos on Fey, because, you know, I definitely would have picked a better deck since, you know, I'm terrible with her. But the main reason I went with that for Fey is because of Blitz Rush. Blitz Rush is an absolute amazing card to get out of situations, and since Fey doesn't have an escape, it's necessary. Now, we do get into an engagement here in mid, and, you know, I'm breaking away now. So, I was backing up, you know, I wanted to stay under tower since I didn't have vision on Bellica. And remember, guys, there's kind of a golden rule. Stay behind the river for the first 10 minutes, and you'll typically survive. This Fang, you know, he pushes way up, and I'm trying everything I can to help him out, but you know, hey, being out of mana, he's gonna go down here. And again, you know, I didn't really cross the river, but you know, I kind of did a little bit. But he did, and he died for it. Really, you know, if you get into an engagement and it's 2v2, you know, just back off of that. You know, especially in this early game, you know, their Fang is more fed than our Fang, which, you know, that's substantial when you're dealing with that kind of situation. You know, you should pick your battles, and our Fang should know that, you know, hey, he's going to take a little more damage than be able to put out. So it is what it is, guys. You know, we're starting off rocky, but you know, hey, I'm posting the video, so it can't be that bad, right? Getting back to the decks, I just really prefer Death, guys. Death, you come online a little bit faster, and you have way more options for in-game as well as mid-game. You know, you're not stuck with Fireball or Atomic Soldier. You know, you could pick up Shadow Dancer for your mid-game card, although it's a little bit more expensive for a mid-game card. You could pick that up, or, you know, let's say, you know, mid-games are between, I would say, 8 and 15 points or so, somewhere around there. You have way more options at that price point with the Invader Mage, Atomic Soldier, Mana Flow Acolyte combo. You know, you could really have a lot of stacks on Mana Flow and really get some damage out of it, if that's something you choose to do. Or, you know, you would just have Fireball and Atomic Soldier, which neither one of, you know, both of these are great. But you're getting those cards online much faster by having that 4-point Invader Mage. And I just prefer that, guys. I really think going back to base and putting on something like Invader Mage at 4 points in is huge when it comes to dealing with the enemy team. Or in my case, it'd be 5 points in because I waste 1,000 on Font. All in all, I think the Corrosive Walker and the Amplification Engineer, while being great cards, I don't see them as super viable for casters. You know, prove me wrong, guys, but I just prefer Death. Now, one thing, we're about to go in on this Bellica. I'm just kind of waiting for my time. You know, I've got my ultimate. I've got her poked down. You can see she's playing very standoffish, but I'm just going to wait for her to make a mistake. You know, she walks forward, we got her. You know, hit her with that root, hit her with that ultimate, you know, that sticky bramble line, whatever that thing's called. You know, we're able to secure that kill, and, you know, it was easy enough. You know, Fey's ultimate is tough, guys. Unless you can break that line of sight, which a ton of heroes can. You know, Seraph can get out of it, Greystone can get out of it. There's a ton of heroes that can get out of that bramble patch. Or, you know, the sticky root line grab you, pull you thing. Whatever. I don't know her abilities, guys. I don't play her ever. But, yeah, you know, there's a ton of heroes that can get out of it, which is another thing that I don't like about it. I really feel her ultimate is I don't know. I think if they improved her ultimate, which it doesn't need improvement, just the functionality of it. You know, sometimes I use it and I'm like, how did I not hit anybody with that? Or I think I do that in this match. You know, how did I not hit anybody with that ultimate? Or, you know, I use it and they take one step around a corner and hey, it it severs the connection, which, I mean, I guess, are they going to pull him through the wall? I think they should, you know, but, you know, hey, Gideon's ultimate works through walls, but mine doesn't. You know, I don't know, there's just a lot of things that I don't care for her ultimate about, but when it does work, you know, yeah, it's really hard to deal with. Now, my Fang heads again into our lane. He's able to get a good chunk of damage on the enemy Fang. Misses that execute, but that's fine. It allows us to wrap up that kill. You know, hey, we're starting to make a comeback. You know, we're 2-1. We had that, you know, kind of careless death at the beginning, but hopefully this will turn around. And maybe now I will finally be able to rotate, you know, be freed up. I haven't got to rotate very much this match, or really at all, guys. And that's kind of a big thing. You know, it's really important for the mid lane to rotate. But now that I have kind of caught up on my farm, everything like that, I've got my Blitz Rush, which, you know, that adds a little bit of power. But I really got that, you know, that card provides such great escape for that early game. Or, you know, really for Fey, because, yeah, she doesn't have an escape. So hopefully, you know, this will free me up to actually start rotating. But, you know, our team, our duo lane, they've been pushing up pretty well. And our Kalari, you know, she's been doing a great job against Iggy. So we haven't had just a whole lot of freedom to rotate, or just a whole lot of need to rotate. You know, like right now, there's not a whole lot of reason for me to rotate over to that duo lane side, just because it's pushed up so far. You know, there's not a whole lot I'm going to be able to do. And with my lane being pushed the way it is and having the damage on the tower already, you know, yeah, there's just not an entire ton of reason to do that. So, really, you know, you just want to kind of pick your time to rotate, and hopefully when you do, you know, it's a good call. Now, I do end up picking up both the river buffs, and again, you know, I'm kind of keeping an eye on things. I want my Revenant to get his farm, everything like that. You know, I haven't played mid lane much since the new update. Revenant actually goes down, you know, in this duo lane, you know, he goes down. I'm going to head over just to kind of hold the lane off and keep it from pushing too much, you know, let him spawn in. The timers are still pretty short, you know, Reb's about to spawn back in, but I got to get back to my mid lane, you know, I really think the mid lane is much more important holding on to over the duo lane, over the off lane. You know, I don't mind if those towers fall, but I don't want to give away the mid lane for free. Now, the enemy team is winning the tower game currently. You know, we still have our tier, they still have all their tier 1s up, and we're missing our duo and our solo lane T1s. So, you know, we got to be very careful about that. Now, Iggy does rotate to mid. Now, I'm not exactly sure if he's switching spots with Bellica or not, but that doesn't matter. You know, I need to play safe, and sure enough, you can see Blitz Rush. You know, that's great. I avoided that knockup by Bellica. I was able to avoid, you know, that Fang assault. So we, you know, able to escape that, and boom, Iggy, you know, he gets pushed up a little bit, and he wasn't set up. We're able to take him out, no problem. Now, we do get a bit of a team collapse, and unfortunately, Steel didn't really hit anybody with that ultimate, so we're not able to capitalize on anything. But we got rid of Iggy, which Iggy is a huge threat. And, you know, hey, that's great. We take him out. We're doing okay. Fang gets caught out a little bit, and I'm going to do everything I can to help him out. But really, there's not a whole lot I got. You know, I got my little sticky line, and, you know, hey, I hope this works. And really, this is why I don't see Fey as being a support, guys. You know, she offers not a whole lot. You know, she's got her ultimate, she's got her, you know, rose bush, and that's it. So, I don't know. There was nothing we could do to save that Fang. You know, he was pushed up a little bit, and, you know, when you're in a dangerous spot, that's if you get caught out, you get caught out. Luckily, you know, we did survive. I'm going to head back to my mid lane. You know, it's being pushed, and we definitely need to, you know, be here. I'm going to go ahead and zone out, you know, these heroes. We lose this tower, which, you know, that's unfortunate, but we've got both of them very low, and with my Quang here in mid, or my Fang here in mid, my Kallari here in mid, everybody's, you know, we kind of collapsed on them. We're able to punish them, but we lost our jump pads, and that's huge. Now, in this time, you know, our Kallari has done a great job, and you can see she's actually almost down there, tier 2, in the solo lane. So, we're not doing horrible. You know, and again, we're not doing horrible with Fey. I'm very surprised that I'm not doing awful, especially being in a solo match with her. You know, like, well, not having the best communication, as well as, you know, I'm playing a hero that, seriously, guys, I've got like 10 games on her since I started playing Paragon. I don't care for her at all, and we're not doing horrible. So, you know, let's keep it rolling. Now, one great thing about Fey is, you know, she's got that free poke. E, if you hit it, it's free, and I really enjoy that. So, you know, you can punish people for not really paying attention, which is what we're about to do. Now, we are in a little engagement, and you can see Bellica's not looking at me. Hey, hit her. You know, like, make her pay attention to me. This is, you know, having her switch between target to target, that's just going to set us up for, you know, a great play that we can make here in a minute. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen quite yet, but, you know, hey, we're all kind of getting ready. You can see the enemy team stacking up. You know, no one's picked up Fang yet. It's 18 minutes in, no one's picked up Fang. You know, I think we are kind of getting ready for a Fang play, so, you know, it's best to kind of, you know, be careful. We definitely want to stay alive. We don't want to burn through too much mana. You know, just kind of keep cool with everything. Our Fang is up there taunting a little bit. You know, we're trying to make something happen. We want to get a pick. And this is also allowing our Kallari to just push down that lane, guys. She's doing a great job. We're being a huge distraction. And, you know, this is perfect. This is exactly what we want. And again, as soon as we get in range, start hitting people with that E, you know, we're able to do a little bit of damage. And, you know, of course, Fey doesn't have the strongest poke in the game, but if you're able to poke, you know, 4 or 5 times, that's quite a bit of damage. So again, we got to play cautiously. Wait for the enemy team to make a mistake. Wait for them to push up too far. With Steel being here, we'll be able to really take someone out. Now, the enemy team heads over to Fang. You know, we're kind of baiting Fang, and I head in behind him. And, you know, I throw my root. I didn't hit anybody. You know, this is you know, we end up taking out their Sparrow, and, you know, with Fang now being by himself, we're gonna go ahead and take him out as well. But, you know, that ultimate, you know, I should have hit somebody with that. You know, it was placed kind of in between them. They were spread out, but, man, I don't know, guys. You really have to play with Fey for, you know, a little bit to really grasp how her ultimate, you know, the range, how it works. Because it does take a second to actually, you know, get there. If you put it up, it's not an instant thing, and, you know, But those 2 kills actually allowed us to take that T1 in mid and Fang. And again, guys, wait for the team to make a mistake. You know, we capitalized on that. You saw they split away from their support, and we went over there and severely punished them for that. And that's huge. You know, you can see they've got a huge presence in mid now, which is going to, again, allow us to push lanes. We got Fang, which is absolutely huge. And, of course, you know, we are missing our tier 2 in mid, but that's okay. You know, towers are designed to fall, guys. It's not that big of a deal if you lose them. You know, sure, it does hurt a little bit, but as long as you can play safe, it's quite alright. Now I head to mid, and, you know, this is another play. Kallari gets caught out, and it's Kallari, guys. Like, hey, you know, I'm just kind of making sure, hey, she doesn't need a bramble patch, and Steel goes in. It's like, oh, okay, let's go. Let's make it happen. I throw my root down again, and look, whoa, what was this? Their Sparrow didn't even get rooted. I mean, she was right there. Oh, I don't like Fey, guys. Don't like Fey, but we are able to wrap up a Sparrow kill. We end up going down. You know, this was a poor choice. We should not have been there. There was no reason for us to engage in that fight. And you see, it caused us to go in staggered. Kallari, she would have got out. You know, it's Kallari. She would have definitely got out. She ends up going down. Steel ends up going down, and I end up going down. Which, I still, guys, tell me why that Sparrow didn't get rooted. I mean, she was right there. But it's what it is. You know, that was a very poor choice. And really, as a community, as team players, as whatever you want to call it, as Paragoners, we have to engage in fights that we have a chance of winning. When Steel goes in and ults in a jungle full of 4 enemies with teams spread out the way it was, by the time they collapse, you know, that we're gonna go down, and we're gonna at that point come in staggered, and it'd be a team wipe. So really, guys, pick the time and place. If Kallari gets caught out, let her die. You know, Kallari's got one of the best escape mechanisms in the game, and if she can't escape, she shouldn't have been there in the first place. So let her die. It's not worth, you know, a team, you know, a semi-team wipe just to save a Kallari who ends up dying anyways. But after that play, I definitely have to redeem myself. So again, you know, our Fang goes into the enemy jungle. You know, this is a bad play, guys. I'm able to throw my root down. I go ahead, throw my E. I throw my little, you know, whatever ultimate thing is called. Steel goes into it. Hey, we get a great triple kill. Or, you know, it was a double kill. But, you know, a team triple kill. You guys, I don't believe in kill stealing. I don't believe in, you know, I think Paragon's a team effort. When I say a triple kill, I mean, hey, 3 people died at once. That's triple kill in my opinion. And kills and assists, you know, they don't matter to me. I would prefer the ADC get fed or the caster get fed over anybody. But really, as long as someone's dying on the enemy team, I'm happy. So we end up getting a great kill right there. You know, we punish them back for punishing us earlier. You know, but again, Fang started that fight. It ended up being a good thing, but it almost ended up being very bad. And you know, that's huge, guys. That's absolutely huge. We got to pick our time and place. Jungle invading to go for a team fight is not a smart idea. That is a very poor choice, and it really shouldn't happen. Now, another thing is we're not getting collapsed on 4 Raptors. You know, I don't know if you see me. I pinged attack Fangtooth 1,000 times. Now, I'm not sure if this is an issue with map awareness, if this is an issue with the pinging system. You know, I really think the pinging system is a huge problem right now. And since Rev didn't rotate over, you know, that allowed the team to head over, and they end up taking out Fang, which, you know, that's unfortunate. And, you know, it feels bad, man. We definitely could have had that if it wouldn't have been a burst caster with a support there. We definitely could have had Fang. But is what it is. Now, I am pretty low. I got to get out. You know, I was able to slow the enemy Fang down enough for our Fang to capitalize on that. So it ends up being a 4-man wipe for, you know, 2 people. But we lost Fang in the process. It was the enemy team's first Fang, so, you know, that's not the worst thing ever. But we definitely should have had some real collapse, and we could have, you know, turned that around. Now, from here, you know, I'm just kind of heal up. I'm going to head back down mid. You know, we did get a 4-man wipe, but I was so low, I was not able to, you know, I didn't want to risk staying in lane because a minion could have one-shot me. So I ended up, you know, I needed to get out of there. I'm going to go ahead and try to push this mid, but, you know, the enemy team shows up. Hey, it's time to get out. You know, since I do have that Blitz Rush, you can see the Blitz Rush is an amazing card. Doesn't cost a whole lot of mana. You can get hit and still be able to use it, which is why I prefer it over Astral Leap. You know, Astral Leap, I think, is an underwhelming card with just having, you know, mana. You know, I think it's like a 80% mana regen, something like that. With only having that plus the leap benefit, I just feel that, you know, once you hit Mana Fountain, the mana regen is just basically pointless in my opinion. And So, I don't know. I just don't really feel that there's a huge benefit with any kind of mana regen card at that point, and Astral Leap is one of them. So, the Blitz Rush, I think, is an absolute necessity on Fey, because, yeah, her escape is just terrible. I was hoping that someone would take out that ward in mid, you know, it's kind of hanging out there, but no one would, so, you know, hey, let's go ahead and force this mid, you know, keep that pressure up. We can now get set up for Fang and hopefully be able to actually secure this one. Now, the enemy Fang actually comes over to Fang. So, you know, hey, let's actually just engage on this. And if we can wipe him out, hey, that's awesome. Sure enough, we go ahead and you can see the damage that Fey can put out when she combines her ultimate with her abilities. You know, it does tons of damage, guys. And, you know, that's really how I kind of see Fey. You know, she reminds me of other MOBAs where, you know, hey, you hit 1, 2, 3 all at once and boom, they're dead. You know, which, I don't know. I've always liked Paragon because it wasn't like that, but Fey definitely reminds me of a hero like that. And, you know, again, that's just not really my playstyle. It's not my particular, you know, flavor, but hey, it works. You know, she's very, you know, like that kill we just got, you know, with that ultimate. That fight might have drug on for a long time because they did have a Muriel, and with Fang having his conversion shield as well, or whatever they call it now, you know, I negated all that. You know, we bursted them down so fast we didn't need to worry about those shields, and that's huge. So again, we're able to take them out. I go ahead and throw on Amplification Engineer. Now, I don't use this card again, guys, because I kind of feel that it's not super beneficial on range casters. Maybe someone like Countess it'd be absolutely amazing on. But, you know, I don't think Countess needs anything to do more damage with. Maybe Shimby. You know, Shimby, it might be absolutely amazing on. But, I think Death Intellect or Death Growth or Growth Intellect are just stronger builds for casters. I think there is some potential here, but, you know, again, I think someone like Crunch it would be much more beneficial for. Now, we do go ahead and go in on Fang, and you can see the Amplification Engineer, that red pulse, that's actually what it is, and it's not very big, guys. You know, it's not just a huge AoE, so you do have to be pretty close to your target. You know, if they're, you know, at the end of your ultimate's range, they're not going to get hit with that extra ability damage. So, you got to be close. I mean, you can see that even just those minions right there. I was out of range of those minions to even do the damage to them. It's a very close range ability, or, you know, passive. So, I don't know. I just don't see a huge benefit for it being on a caster. I really don't. Now, from here, we're going to just, you know, create a ton of pressure in mid. Our Fang is actually going for Prime, but I want to make sure that this wave is pushed all the way up before we head over there. And then, sure enough, let's peel off, head over to Fang, or head over to Prime, and help Fang out. Oh, God, the names. But we end up heading over there, and hey, we almost didn't even need to. He had this, you know, he had it straightened out pretty well. You know, you can see I still did quite a bit of burst, but, you know, hey, we went over, helped out a little bit. That was great. It probably saved him. You know, it's a lot more difficult to solo Prime with those missiles now, but he's probably fed to the point he can. But again, doesn't really matter. We're able to march down mid lane because we had it pushed, guys. That's another thing. I see a lot of people, they'll go for Prime and their lanes won't be set or, you know, whatever. You definitely want to make sure that your lanes are at least pushed or pushing. It will really help you out. Of course, if you're just going for Prime to keep it out of the enemy's hands, things like that, you know, that's something that can work. But if you're able to force a lane, you know, and get it pushed in the right direction, it will make it much easier once you get Prime to actually head over and, you know, take care of it. Now, again, you know, I'm not able to do a whole lot but keep pressure up. And we have 3 enemies here in mid. You know, this is absolutely huge. And with me now having that mana fountain as well as prime, I'm not worried about my mana at all. I'm spamming abilities. You know, this is keeping the pressure up, allowing other lanes to split push. You know, of course, I like split pushing just 2 lanes. But, you know, hey, if we want to get a 3-lane split push, we can. And you see, once our Kallari starts going in on that inhib, you know, enemies kind of peel off, and it allows me to push closer into that tower, and we're able to keep that damage up, as well as, you know, in that duo lane, Fang and Steel, they're able to take down that tower and push into that inhib. And again, you know, the enemies back off a little bit. I'm going to go in on this T2. We're able to take out this mid. You know, this is what split pushing is, guys. You don't just shove lanes and push and push and push. You still need to play cautiously. You still got to play careful. Now I head over to our duo lane, and we're able to, you know, get some pretty good damage on this unsuspecting Sparrow. Steel dives her a little bit. We're able to take her out, you know, and from here, you know, it's GG. Well, this is going to wrap up my Fey Chaos build solo queue guide. Guys, you know, I had a lot of requests for this video, so, or, you know, a combination of all 3 of these, or, you know, just making all 3 videos, and I figured, hey, let's throw them all together. I really hope y'all did enjoy. It was fun. I don't mind solo queue, even though, you know, solo queue is plagued with a few problems. I don't mind it. I was a big solo queuer before I started YouTube and, you know, started getting more subs. So I gotta say I like it. Well, that's gonna wrap it up, guys. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, show me some love. Leave me a comment. Think about subscribing. Join our Discord if you haven't done it. I'd love to play with y'all. And as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.